Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, January 27th, 2006. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. It's still legal today, but as we have been all year long, we've been living in a fast-moving, fluid situation. I don't know if you heard, but little Hydrick, Greg Bavino, I call him Little Hydrick. If you don't know who Hydrick, the reference, Hydrick was like Himmler's dog. Like when they took over Czechoslovakia, he would send Hydrick in to set everything up and to put everybody down. You know what I mean? He was the goon, you would say, in sports. I send in the goon. Here he go there and fuck up a bunch of people. You know, but anyway, so to me that's what Bovino was and is he's a pit bull dog that they release on the people, you know. Give him this high lift commander and give him a trench coat. And I don't know if you saw that, Pam Bondi did the most Nazi shit ever, was like sent a letter to Tim Walz. Well, if you give us your voter rolls, we will take the agents away from your territory. Oh, just the voter rolls, that's all. That's all you want? Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I got rid of the frog, if you didn't notice that. I like the frog, but... so let's keep count. So, or let's start a count, right? So Ice went to L.A., they threw him out. Right? Ice went to Portland, they threw him out. Right? Ice went to Chicago, they threw him out. And now they went to Minneapolis, and they're throwing him out. This is not what people want. And again, I want to reiterate what I've said 100 times. It's okay, Julie. Everyone wants criminals out. If you're a criminal, you're an illegal immigrant, you got to go. I'm with you. I'm down with that part of the program. But that's not what this is. That 5-year-old kid was not a criminal. His father was not a criminal. Like, you want to get the criminals out, that's fine. Everyone can get behind that. But bum rushing the streets and just grabbing people, busting windows and dragging people out in the street who are trying to get to a fucking doctor's appointment, that's not what people want. That's Nazi shit. See, what you don't understand is it was never about getting rid of the criminals. This is Stephen Miller's project to ethnically cleanse the United States, to make it more white. Period. And you can fucking try to argue with me all you want to. That's the real fucking program. He said it his entire life. There's multiple videos of Stephen Miller ranting since he was in like fucking high school. I don't know what that rabbi said, but I've asked that before. I don't know what's happened to Stephen Miller, but it must have been bad. And at a young age, because he's always been a piece of shit prick, Nazi fuck, racist. He's always been this. They said there's documented videos, years and years and years. He's been ranting and raving, and he finally found someone who would help him fulfill his fucking dream of trying to whiteify the United States. But you see, it ain't working out the way they thought, because like I said on this show before, this is a big fucking country. There's a lot of fucking people. There's 300 million people in this country. There's 50,000 people marching in Minneapolis in the minus 10 degree temperature. You gonna tell me? Yes, Laura. Laura says people are not taking their kids to school or going to needed doctors' programs or out to shop. They're living in fear. Yes, they are. Children afraid to go outside and play. This is the United States of America. This is not the kind of country I want to live in, where people are afraid to go outside. I thought this was the land of the free, home of the brave, or that's what they say. Yes, Julia, that's the big mystery. Right? She says, what I don't get is the fact that Stephen Miller is a Jew, yet he's a goddamn Nazi. Yes, exactly. Stephen Miller, the Jewish Nazi. Quite the conundrum. I guess he decided that his racism outweighs his Jewishness. But there's a whole wing of Jewish intellectuals who are MAGA. That's what I mean. Jewish people who align themselves with Nazis. It's unbelievable. Only America could. It truly is a melting pot. It's like. I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Hello, Lainey. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. I don't know what happened to me. But like I said, you can try to argue all you want, but that's what this is about. It never was about getting rid of just criminals. You want to get rid of all the brown people they can get rid of, as many as possible. It don't matter to them where they even send them. They're like, oh, we'll just send them off to Senegal, Somalia. It's like, just drop them off, It's like, it's fucking unbelievable. They're not even gonna take them back to where they're from. It's like they look at them as trash. They want to take out the trash, and they don't care where they dump the fucking trash. Wherever they can make a deal for people to take them. And and it doesn't. It's not about criminals. It's not about your safety. ICE is shooting citizens and telling you, if we weren't here, illegal immigrants would be killing you. Are you fucking kidding me? It's unbelievable. And while this is happening, this is true. This is absolutely true. While all this was happening in the streets of Minneapolis, and Alex Preddy was shot in the back while laying down on the street, right? After the ICE agent took away his gun that he had legally and never pulled it out and never brandished or pointed it at anyone. While this is all happening, I swear to God, Trump and his rich friends are sitting in the White House watching screenings of Melania. What's up, Gabriel? Thanks for joining. Yeah. If this is not your, let them eat cake fucking moment, where these rich fucks are sitting in the White House watching movies about themselves while their goons are out in the street killing us. If that doesn't fucking make your blood boil, I don't know what will. If you could just take that. Laura, hold on, I'm missing these comments. Laura says, if you're living in rural America, not used to seeing anything but white people around you, and on top of that, you're uneducated, it's no wonder that they bow down to the lies of Trump. Yes. And then Julia says, aren't white people about 12% of the world's population? They're worried about white replacement theory. They're not even the majority on the planet. Right? Exactly. Right, Laura says her dad's friend is an American citizen, but she's Chinese, so she's afraid to go anywhere, and she's a citizen. Yes. If she does go anywhere, she better bring her fucking papers. You got your passport, your fucking, your driver's license. You're an American citizen. This is the kind of world you want to live in? Whereas, they said, it would be one thing if Trump was doing all this terrible shit to people, right? But everything else was great, right? If he had fixed the economy and your wages went up and your prices went down and everything was great for you, right? Interest rates were low. But that ain't the case. Everything else is terrible, too. There's nothing... There's nothing good about this. You're welcome to try to, if you're watching and you're a Trumper, you're more than welcome to try to convince me that there's something good going on here, but Now people are suing him from the people he blew up in them boats. The family of some people from Trinidad, I think they said it was, are suing them because they said they were just fishermen returning home. They had nothing to do with drugs. There's murder. They got murdered. And you know what's going to happen is they're just going to give them some, a couple $1 billion and they'll go away. But who's paying for that? You. Me. You're paying ransom bribes on Trump's murders with your tax dollars. Think about that. Think about how far off the fucking rails we are. I mean, it's insane. And I will still take apologies from people who said that I was crazy 12 years ago, whatever, when I started yelling, like, about all the shit that's going to happen if you fucking let this guy become president. And you did it twice. The first time I could see. But even my dad was like, well, let's try something different. Now, you're going to give him power now when he knows he doesn't have to get elected again, and he's basically a lame duck, but he can do whatever he wants because he's president of the United States, and he's fucking insane. And it's questionable whether he has dementia or not. He's fucking... he's definitely not as sharp as he once was, he's calling Greenland Iceland, and, or maybe he's just that fucking stupid. Either way. What they just did, the way they killed that man and then tried to besmirch his name in the press and tell you that what you see on the videos is not what you see. It's a riot and he attacked them and he had a gun and he brandished it and he pulled it out. He's a domestic terrorist. He came there to kill a bunch of ICE officers. Meanwhile, there's videos of him standing on the street for fucking quite a long time. If he wanted to massacre ICE agents, he could have done it several times. Usman, I don't eat at Applebee's very much. Julia says, Trump has always used other people's money, especially when he couldn't get out of paying some bills. He still hasn't paid Rudy for his services. Yeah, exactly. And Rudy had to pay that settlement to the ladies. He lost everything. And Trump still ain't paid him. And Rudy still kisses his ass. Which tells you, like, there's something I can't say what it is about this guy that people, like I said, people. Trump's like a guy. He'd be like, "You ever seen Conan the Barbarian?" When that guy Thoughts of Doom, he like brings that girl out to the balcony and he just tells her to jump off. He said, "Come to me," and she just fucking falls, just kills herself. That's what Trump is. He's a Thoughts of Doom, except he doesn't turn into a snake. But these people would jump off a cliff. They would kill themselves for him, it seems like. I've never seen such a loyalty to someone. And that's because, like I've told you a bunch of times on this show, these people are fanatics. They're fanatics. It's what you call a fanatic. And fanatics will do anything because they're fanatics. And they're obsessed with it. But the problem is there's millions of these people and the internet is stoked. Like, the internet is a vital part of MAGA. Like, the machine, it's a machine. It's a brainwash machine. And the White House runs it every day. Yes, Laura. Laura says Applebee's is where the cheeseburger and fries and the puddle of cheese whiz is. Yes, they've been pushing that hard. It's like Applebee's cheeseburger with the cheesy skillet. Is there a video of ICE agents shooting the guy? Yes. Yeah. Another guy shot him 5 times after he was already shot. And they said they had the balls to be like, he attacked. He came there to inflict maximum damage and he attacked the officers. And you can see the officers attack him. The officer crosses the street to approach him. And like, how did you get close to that officer? Like, the officer went over there. And probably pepper sprayed him right in the face. And then Bovino called it a riot. He went to a riot. Like, there's no riot. There's nothing going on except for 6 ICE agents beating the shit out of a guy, and then they shoot him 9 times. Then they didn't even give him CPR. No, he did not pull his gun or threaten him in any way. He basically, they knocked over a woman. Right? And he went over there to help that woman. And as he's trying to help her up, they just attack him, pepper spray him, and then they beat him down to the ground. And then they realized that he had a gun, but he has a legal permit to carry it. It's in his waistband. He never reached. And they just start yelling, "Gun!" Then the guy grabs it, pulls it out, runs back, yells, "I got the gun!" And then they still shoot him 9 times. Well, they shot him 4 times, and then another guy who's standing back a little bit shot him 5 more times. Indy 101 says I look poor. As in, like my appearance is poor, or like I look poor like I ain't got no money. And what does that even matter? I told you I don't take Russian money here on this show. Rich Buckner says, supposedly Barron Trump rescued a woman getting beaten as if he doesn't travel without Secret Service everywhere. Yeah, exactly. You can't believe, you see, this is the problem. They have 0 credibility. You can't believe anything they say. And they've gotten away with lying so much and so often that they felt comfortable enough to tell you that what you saw in that video is not what you saw. And do it with a straight face and total confidence. Although that guy, I told Laura, we were watching, Bovino was on with Dana Bash on Sunday. And Dana Bash was just grilling him like, like he was in Guantanamo Bay. She can get pit bullish when she wants to. But Margaret Brennan would have been better. That bitch don't play around. But anyway, Dana Bash was roasting him, and I looked at Laura. I said, I don't think that he's... you can see on his face he knows that he's in big, that this is big time trouble. And he's trying to dig his way out of this hole. And meanwhile, he's shoveling copious amounts of complete bullshit. And there's video of this from 10, 12 fucking angles. Because there's observers all over the place. That's what I'm saying. It's, Minneapolis has shown the way. It's like, resist. Observe. Be in their face. Record everything they do. Don't let them sneak in and out of your town in the middle of the night and do horrible shit while no one's looking. This is the only way we're going to save ourselves. And we got 3 more years of this shit. Unless something happens. If something happens to Trump, it's just going to be Vance, and that's even worse. I've never seen a more soulless shitbag than J.D. Vance. I really haven't. Like, Vance is the most vapid, like I said, ambitious, Machiavellian type villain dude that you've ever seen. Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone who can lie so easily and change allegiances so quick. But I'll give you an example. Alex Petty was just shot, right? Killed. Basically executed in the street by these guys. Right? And some ICE agents went into a restaurant and the observers figured out that they were in there. So they gathered around the restaurant there, blowing their whistles and telling them to get the fuck out of town, And they got scared and called for backup. Backup came and helped them, escorted them out or whatever. But Vance tweets this about that situation, right? He says, when I was in Minneapolis, I heard a number of crazy stories. But near the top of the list, a couple of off-duty ICE and CBP officers were going to dinner in Minneapolis. They were doxxed and their location revealed, and the restaurant was then mobbed. The officers were locked in the restaurant, and local police refused to respond to their pleas for help, as they've been directed to by the local authorities. Eventually, their fellow federal agents came to their aid. This is just a taste of what's happening in Minneapolis because state and local officials refuse to cooperate with immigration enforcement. They have created the chaos so that they can have moments like yesterday where someone tragically dies and politicians get to grandstand about the evils of enforcing the border. What the fuck is he talking about? The solution is staring everyone in the face. Hope authorities in Minneapolis stop this madness. You're the one who's killing people, bro. Violating constitutional rights left and right. He doesn't seem to mind ICE agents going into your house without warrants. He doesn't seem to mind them busting your car windows and dragging you out into the fucking street. He doesn't seem to mind them kidnapping children, taking them to detention facilities in Texas. That boy that they took, a judge just ordered that they can't move that kid. Those people were here legally. He came in the right way. They requested asylum. That man went to every immigration appointment hearing. These are not criminals. These are not criminals. And like I said, I will reiterate the point. I'm all for getting out the criminals. Because see, when you say this, they go, oh, you must be for Trinidad and MS-13s. And you're like, no. If you can prove to me that those people are in Trinidad or MS-13, get them the fuck out. I'm all for it. I'll help you put them on the fucking plane. But that's not the point. The point is you have to prove that, because otherwise the government could just say that you're in Trinidad or you're in MS-13 and they could do whatever they want to. That's why we have due process in this country. That's why we have constitutional rights. People seem to think that they can just willingly give these rights away so we can get immigrants, and that eventually that doesn't mean that you just gave away your rights. And you did. You did. Because if ICE starts going in your house with administrative warrants, what do you think the local police are going to do? They're going to go, well, they just need an administrative warrant, and why not us? And they're going to try it, and then you'll have to go to court, and maybe you'll get your rights back through the courts. Possibly, but probably not. It used to be illegal for the police to search your car. You know that? In my lifetime. Police could say, let me search your car, and you could say no. I don't think so, because it's your personal property. And they'd have to get a warrant if they really wanted to search your car. They'd have to hold you, call a judge, explain to them why they want to search your car, and the judge may or may not give them a warrant, and then they could search your car. Right? Then they invented probable cause. What was probable cause? A way for them to just say, well, we have probable cause that he's doing something, so we're going to search his car. And that became the law, and nobody cared. That was just one example of how we've given away our rights slowly in my lifetime. That's just one example. There's many. The no-knock warrants. You used to have to knock on the door and say, this is the police, so we have a warrant to search your house or whatever. Now they just bust in the fucking door, come right in. That used to be not legal. That became legal in my lifetime, and no one said anything. And now this is the most serious encroachment I've ever seen on anyone's rights. They're threatening your First Amendment rights, your Second Amendment rights, your Fourth Amendment rights, your 10th Amendment rights. It's a trifecta. It's a parlay. Civil rights violations. Like Bannon said, flood the zone. Yeah. Right. Well, not the car anymore. That's what I said. The Fourth Amendment right to search your car went away with probable cause. Now they say, oh, they got probable cause to search your car. They just search your car. That actually happened to me once. But I was coming home from, I believe it's the warehouse. So I was at some club, right? And I was driving home, and I was smoking. I smoked a bowl while I was driving, and then I put the pot. I mean, I never carried around, so I like stashed all the weed in the pipe. And but I got pulled over, and this cop, he was kind of young, and he was like talking to me. Hey, what are you doing? And he was like, you been doing anything tonight? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, I think I might smell some marijuana. You want to search your car? I was like, and I was like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, well, you know, we like to search cars. You know, they go up and down the highway here. They might have drugs in them. And I was like, yeah, I bet you do. I bet you would like to search every fucking car if you could, but I'm telling you no. And this other cop pulls up behind, you know, because the one always shows up. And he was an older guy, and so he's like, well, hold on a minute. And he took my license and all that shit. He walks back there, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm watching, and he's talking to the older guy. He's like, hey, and the older guy's like talking, and he's like, and the older guy kept talking to him. And finally, he stomps up to the window, and he goes, have a nice day, and he throws all my shit at me. And not nice either. And I go, what? He goes, have a good night. And I go, well, thank you. And he goes, no, you don't need to thank me. And he walks away. And I drove off. But I know what the cop was telling him was like, you know, well, if he's really going to be staunch on this, you're going to have to call a judge in the middle of the night and convince him to give you a warrant to search this guy's car. And you better hope that this guy has a lot of dope in his car, like pounds and pounds of weed, like to make it worth waking up this judge at night. Because if you just find some pipe and a little weed like I had, he's like, he's going to be fucking pissed. And he was all pissed off. But that was before, they said, they invented the probable cause. And then now he would have been like, I smell weed, get out of the car. And he would just search my car. Because they did away with that. Same as your person. If they have probable cause that you were doing something, they can search you. They can pat you down, search you. Remember New York had stop and frisk. If you just look suspicious to them, they can stop you and frisk you. Right? I don't trust cops either. Although there are good ones. I worked with a lot of cops. I said, because I did security in Las Vegas, and a lot of them were nice. I mean, to just like when you had to come in contact with them. I wasn't out on the street with them. I said, that guy who's being nice to me, he might like to go out there and choke people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but you don't know until you see them in action, what they're really like. Laura says the problem is most U.S. citizens don't know about due process of their Miranda rights, etc., etc. Yes, exactly. And she's like, so imagine if you're one, not even a citizen, and two, you don't have English as your first language. Yes, they can take advantage of you, for sure. Or sometimes you don't even know what's going on. You know, you're like, oh, here comes a bunch of masked guys with bulletproof vests, dragging people away. And you don't speak English or anything. You're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, Sounds kinky. Yeah, right? Let me just put these cuffs on you. Right, John? So, see, the problem with cops is it's a fraternity. It's an organization like anything else, and it's a human organization, which means it's susceptible to corruption and abusing your power. Violence. It's all the things that human beings are. That's what I always said. That's the same thing about religions. I don't trust human organizations because they're filled with human beings, and most human beings are total shitbags. So when the whenever you get a bunch of people together, bad shit happens most of the time. It's been proven throughout history. Even good organizations. Right? Like the Boy Scouts. Seems like a good organization, doesn't it? Like, oh, what do? We teach young men, young boys how to be men, and we teach them responsibility and teach them how to be good people and blah, 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 blah. What happens? Perverts infiltrate the thing and they start touching the fucking kids. Church, same thing. Why did they have altar boys? Right? For thousands of years. It's a tradition. Yes, because they're grooming kids. It's a tradition. Yes, exactly. Because it's always been this way. We just discovered it recently. It was like, oh my God. It's like, you think that it wasn't going on back then? Yes, John. You see, it's one or the other. It's either guys that have the same psychological profile as criminals, or it is people with good hearts and good souls who really want to make a difference in their community. But those people are vastly outnumbered by the shitbags you're talking about. And that's why you always hear about all these bad cops, and you go, why won't the good cops say anything? And you go, because he's the only one that's good. And if he says something, he'll be ostracized, or who knows what they probably threaten him with violence, all kind of shit. You're definitely labeled a traitor to the badge, and you'll be fucking treated as a pariah. So the good cops don't speak out. I'm not saying that, Laura. I just said I think that there are some good ones, but I think that they're outnumbered by the shitbags. And I also believe that the police union, yes, Serpico, exactly, watch Serpico. They tried to kill him several times. He was trying to expose how dirty they were. Because it becomes like a mob, They're worse than the mob. Because they had the badge. Yes, Laura, that's the other thing. But that's my point is, people aren't good. I say this all the time. It's a myth that they sell you. They say, no, people are good, and if you left to their own, your own devices, you do the right thing, and that's not true. Just look around the world. The world is full of shitbags and sadists and violent people who get off on hurting other people. People who like to get power and flex it on people. People like Donald Trump. He's only backpedaling now because he can't control it. That's what I said on this show before. He's going to have a hard time trying to take over this country truly with fascism. Now he's gone pretty far, but I'm saying you can't lock this country down. There's 300 million something people. And there's 400 million guns, and they ain't came out yet. They keep fucking around, I said, and they will come out, and it cause all kinds of chaos, and that's what people are telling them. It's like, you're going to tear this country apart. You keep pushing. And it's going to get out of hand and out of control, and you ain't going to be able to control it. And so he's backing off, you know, because he ain't got no fucking choice. Because, like I said, never convince them that this is still a free country and you have power. Like I said, before Alex Preddy was shot, there were 50,000 people marching in minus 10-degree weather in Minneapolis. Before that. And you did it again, it'd be double. You're going to tell me they can control that? They can't control that. And I said, that's when you start getting like the French. You start tearing shit up, setting shit on fire. You know, and you go, hey, we're not taking this. It's not going to happen. And it's not often that one person's death changes the world. And Alex Preddy's death maybe didn't change the world, but it's definitely going to change the United States because he's going to back off. They're going to change their tactics. They're already talking about it. Like, you know, people want them to go after criminals, not just snatching people at the Home fucking Depot. John says, my family had good cops in it, but most I've met today are fucking raging bullies with guns. Yes. Julia says, local police force has about 12 cops. I personally know half of them. They're generally good guys, but I can't fully trust them because they're cops. Exactly. You know what I find is weird? Even working security, they kind of treat you like differently, like you're part of that brotherhood. You know, like not in way different way if I wasn't wearing that suit. You know, working at the arena. The way they interact with you, like they drop their guard. You know, they talk to you like a real person, and you're like all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's just like two guys at work. You know. Because it is, but I'm saying generally you don't have interactions with police like that. And I used to hang my security badges on the rearview mirror of the car so that if I got pulled over, that the cops would see it. They're like, oh, you're one of us. Not quite, but yeah, close. I also saw, you see that in security guards too, that there's some security guards that become security guards just so they think that gives them a license to bully people around, you know. That's why you need good supervisors and good leadership, security and police, because I said these guys get out of hand, you know. You know, fucking keep them in line. It's like, hey, our job is to facilitate people having a good time and not getting hurt and getting home safe. It's not to fucking, you know, throw people out at any whim. You know, there's guys that love to throw people out. You know, they're like, dude, they didn't even hardly do anything. Guys like, he's out of here. It's like, usually you can talk to somebody once. If they come back around, they're still fucking around, you throw them out. But fuck, man, at least give them a chance to correct their behavior. Unless they're doing something, you know, it's way out beyond the pale. But it's like, yes, John, you got to. It's like when you own a bar. When I owned the bar, I had to be nice with the police because I'd have to call them if something bad happened. And, yeah, you got to come down here. It never did because me and Kareem managed to hold the place down most of the time. But yeah, I mean, if something was crazy going, I mean, you want to have a good relationship with the cops. You know, you want to be like, my bar's on fire, and they don't like you. Like, they're like, fuck that guy. They watch it burn. They block off the street so the fire trucks can't come. It's like, we always wanted to get rid of that place. I don't know, man. Like I said, the fact that we've let it get this far, that's the part that nobody's really talking about, is that the Congress could stop this at any time. But they don't. They bitch and they piss and moan. Like they go on TV, oh, I don't agree with this. It's like, are you going to do something about it? No. Why not? Because it's Trump and gotta lick the nuts. It's like that's why I said before, it's like it's some kind of, they said he's like Dawson dude. It's like all these people are in a trance. and they they don't realize that they can actually do something about it. Yes, John, that's what I'm saying. Some of these bouncer guys, that's why they took the job, so they could get into a fight. They want to fight. They're looking for a fight. They want to rough someone up and throw them out. That's part of the gig for them. You're like, that's not really the job. I mean, the job is to be able to do that if you absolutely have to. But that should always be a last resort. You should never lay hands on people if you don't have to. And generally, don't lay hands on them until they lay their hands on you. And then, usually that doesn't ever happen, so you don't got to worry about it. I was in the middle of a riot, a real riot, in a boxing match on the floor of T-Mobile Arena. That was the only time I looked around. I was like, man, I'm in danger. It's like, this is some serious danger. People were throwing chairs and shit. It was fucking nuts. But we were at the arena, which, like I said, cops are there. That's why I never wanted to work at a casino. In a casino, there's no cops. Right? The security guards in the casino are the cops. And the casino is like a small city. I mean, it's not a small city, but I'm saying there's thousands of people in that building. If you're at the MGM Grand or one of those places, there's all those rooms, and there's all those restaurants, and there's all those casinos, and anything can happen anywhere. And you're there's no cops. There's no cops standing around inside the casinos like there are when you go to concerts at arenas. That's a major difference. They said sometimes when I was in the security academy, they said sometimes those guys in the casinos would call the police and they won't get there for 10 minutes. So if there's a fight going on, you're fighting for 10 minutes. Which seems like a long time, because it is. That's why I say I don't want to work in the casinos. Plus, they said, I swear to God, the very first day of the academy, the guy comes in. The very first thing he says is, I want to let you know right now, he's like, you might find a dead body. If that's something that you don't think you can handle, you should probably leave now. And a few people got up and left. And he's like, odds are, sooner or later, if you work at a casino or a hotel long enough, you're going to come across someone who's either dead in their room, or someone's going to have a heart attack on the casino floor and die. I mean, or there'll be a shooting or a stabbing. These are all things you might encounter on the job. It's like, really? I'm like, thank God they hired me at the arena. It's because I just want to watch concerts and shepherd drunks around. I don't really want to pick up dead bodies. Although even in the arena, people had heart attacks sometimes. A guy did die. I wasn't there. I didn't see it, but this guy just had a heart attack, fell over, died. That can happen almost anywhere you go. Right, John says 10 seconds in a fight is a long time. Yes, imagine waiting 10 minutes for the police to come. They had all these videos of crazy shit that had happened. These guys are fighting in the casino lobby for fucking, I said 5 minutes. It's like, guys bashed the front door and the glass broke, And you're like, dude, if you're a security guard, you're just in the middle of this, for waiting for the cops to come. It's crazy. No, that's what I'm saying, Laura. Like, it can happen anywhere. But they were just reiterating, like I said, if you work at a casino or a hotel, there's a higher probability that sooner or later you're going to come across someone who's dead, like either in their room or whatever. And if you can't handle it, drug overdoses happen all the time, suicides. And they're like, if you don't think you can handle that, you better quit now. And I was like, well, at least I warned them. Jobs are weird. I mean, public jobs, like retail jobs, security, things like that. I swear to God, I worked at This guy was telling stories. Uh, when I first moved to Vegas, I was looking for a job, and everything's union out there. I was a manager, so I thought, oh, I'll just go out there and get a manager job, and in a grocery store or whatever. And but everything's union, so you can't get hired off the street as a manager, even if you have lots of experience, because it's union. So you have to start at the bottom. It's like fuck. And I kept holding out that I was going to get a job. I was looking. And I was running out of money, and Walmart offered me a job. And I fucking hate Walmart, and I said I would never ever work at Walmart, but I was desperate as fuck, so I was like, fuck, I guess I'll take this job. So I go to orientation the first day, and this guy's walking us around the Walmart, and he's telling stories. I swear to God, this is a true story. This guy ran the room where he had all the security cameras and all the monitors, so he saw everything that's happening. He says, one day I'm sitting and I'm looking at the monitor, and I see there's a man in the women's lingerie section, and he's like touching himself, and he goes, well, shit, I gotta go out there. So he walks out there and confronts the guy. He goes, excuse me, sir. The guy's like, what? And he's like, you're living out here fucking pervert, touching yourself, and you gotta get the fuck out of here. And he says, well, I'm talking to her. This woman walks up. She goes, excuse me, sir, what's going on here? And he goes, listen. She goes, that's my husband. And he goes, well, ma'am, he was inappropriately touching himself here in the lingerie section. And she goes, again? And I thought to myself, man, that's a strong marriage. That's like, what do you mean again? How many times has this happened? You're still married to this guy. It's like, fucking crazy. Julie, Laura says, well, it takes forever to get help. No, that's what I said. They said sometimes the cops didn't come for 10 minutes. So, and 10 minutes is a long time when something is, like I said, there's a fight or a riot's going on, or, whatever. I had never been present when someone passed away until I lost my beloved husband right before me. Yes, exactly. Sorry. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's terrible. See, there's... okay, it's starting back up. There's something wrong with this thing. I mean, it's doing better. It's 3 out of 3 today. So, the channels are all connected. But now it's just disconnected for a second. And it was like, to reconnect, click here. And usually you click here, and this thing comes up. And nothing came up. And since I did that update, it's all screwed. I don't know. I'm sure it's technical. I'm sure it's me. I'm stupid. I'm a dumb old guy. I don't know how to work technology. But yeah, I'm sorry, Julia. That's what happened to my mom. My stepfather was he was ill. He was in the hospital for like a couple months. And he finally came home. He came home, and he was here for one day. And that night, they went upstairs to go to bed. When he's ready to go to bed, he goes, oh, I feel so good. And he just fell over dead. Right here, right upstairs. He was home for one day. But he got to die in his house and not in the VA hospital, which was good, I guess. He got to live his last day in his own home. But yeah, I mean, it's always, like I said, I always say, I saw someone die when I was 16. I've never been the same since. Really makes you realize. Jason says, it sounds like user error. Yes, no, that's what I said. I'm a fucking idiot. I can see all of them, Julia. Like, he's on Facebook, you're on YouTube. Gary is on Facebook. I said, it tells me where you're watching, and I can see all the comments as long as all the channels are connected. But the other day, I said it only said 1 out of 3. I don't know what was going on. It was in the middle of that fucking blizzard, so I think it was the weather more than anything. But keep talking because we haven't got to the 100 cup. I got a message from a guy today. Said he's been following my channel, and I'm like, oh really? It's like somebody sent me an email. He's like, if I wanted to talk about how to spruce up my show at all, you know. But he said he liked my show. He's been following it, and I was like, oh. I think I mean, it's like a chat, Julia. I think I could scroll back and see everything. Because I was doing that the other day. Yeah, I could scroll back. I could see the whole show. I could see everything that you've said. It's all there until I close it out. Even when it disconnects, it doesn't erase the chat. The chat's still there. It just isn't taking new comments at the moment because it gets disconnected. But I don't know. It's like I was talking about before. It's like the Congress could have stopped this at any time. The fact that they let this go on is. That's why I'm saying at the beginning, I said Trump's like a Tulsa dude. He's got everybody in a trance, or either that, or they're just terrified. Like Murkowski, she was like, they're terrified of the bees. And then when he pardoned all those January 6ers, that's even worse. He's like, you know, the worst of the worst are out there now. No, they don't disappear. When I start the show and you guys start talking to me, it just creates a big chat box. And it's just like a messenger. So the entire conversation is there. I can scroll back up and see what you said if I missed something or I wanted to. Or you lied later and say you didn't say something. I'd be like, yes, you did! No, that's why I said Canada was in the middle of that blizzard the other day when I was trying to do the show. So I think that that had something to do with it. Luckily, like I said, it didn't start fucking up till after Daniele left. So I just ended it early. I know, I saw that. I was like, what did you just say? It's like, Ash stepped on your phone. What's up, Costello? Thanks for joining. But it should never got this far. You know. And the very fact that these people who said that you have to have a gun in every orifice of your body for the last fucking 20 years are all of a sudden like, well, why do you have a gun? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Doesn't have no gun on him. It's like, you're the one that said put a gun up your ass. It's like people that have Christmas cards of their entire families with AR-15s around a Christmas tree, asking why a guy had a gun. You know, are you fucking kidding me? And then a guy saying that he fucking brandished it. He never brandished. There's videos of this. I said 12 different angles. He never touched his gun. They removed his gun from the holster, but he never even touched it. He had a phone in his hand. And the guy on Newsmax, I swear to God, I don't know if you saw that. This guy on Newsmax was talking about, his phone. And he's like, that's the uncomfortable truth, Julia, that they don't want to fucking admit it. I've said that on this show before, is that we have guns too. I myself have several. My dad's like hooked on them like drugs. He's got like 100 of them now. Although most of his guns are like museum pieces. I said guns you couldn't shoot anybody with it anyway if you wanted to. Yes, Laura, exactly. He pulled the gun out and he said, I got the gun. And that's what proves to you. Like I said, the real problem is that these are just goons that they put in training for 47 days and then gave him a gun and put him out on the street. It takes way more training than that to know how to interact with people on the street when you have a gun. There's pictures of a guy's got his finger on the trigger. That's the first thing they teach you. That's the first thing they taught me about a gun when I was a kid. Is you don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot the gun. You keep your finger outside the trigger guard. Especially if you're on a public street, you're a fucking police, and there's 6 of your fucking partners all around you. You're just gonna start firing. Like I said before, they're lucky they didn't shoot each other. Like Reservoir Dogs, it's all 6 of them just they all fall down. That would have been a better outcome than them all shooting him while he's laying on the fucking ground. And like I said before, it's rare that someone's death changes the world, but his death might not change the entire world, but it's going to change the United States going forward. As I said, he's going to get us out of this, even though he had to tragically lose his life. They're going to back off these tactics. They're going to stop raiding cities. Watch. Because people ain't having it anymore. And if the Congress ain't going to do nothing, we got to fucking defend ourselves. That's like, and they're like, oh, that's all today. Cash Patel's like, we're going to investigate the signal chat that they've been using for the ICE observers. Like, you're going to investigate that, but you're not going to investigate drunk headsets shooting at the war plans in the signal chat. Are you fucking kidding me, man? This is the kind of clowns that you're dealing with. These are not serious people. These are fanatics. And they're not that fucking smart. It's a bad combination. Stupid fanatics. It's like Julia says, I'm convinced that ICE is making snuff videos because Trump likes to watch people getting killed. That's why they keep their phones in one hand while shooting with the other. Maybe. Yeah, Laura. Yeah, I saw that. Trump said we're the envy of the world. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody wants to get shot in the streets of America. I saw that. He said, people used to laugh at us. They're not laughing anymore. Like, dude, they're laughing more than ever. That's the thing about it, is he has no self-awareness. Zero. None. He is perceived as a fucking clown. The problem is, like I said, he's surrounded by all these drooling nutlickers who tell him he's the greatest all day. And everybody's afraid to tell him he's wrong about anything, so he just blathers on. It's like that's what amazes me. I've said this numerous times, but it's true, is just the amount of pathetic, spineless, groveling bootlickers who will go along with this. And the amount of soulless shitbags that will sell you down the river, like Scott Jennings and those kinds of people. They will sell you and your rights down the river so they can get a bigger paycheck and advance their career, you know. Well, I said that, Julia, before. They should never come to the World Cup. Yeah. Did you know that they said they were going to use ICE as security in Milan for the Winter Olympics, and the guy in Milan was like, oh no! They're not welcome here. That's what he said. He said, oh no, you're not bringing them ICE here. Nah, Trump will probably do it anyway, just because he'd be like, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop me? You know, because he's an asshole. Like John just said, Trump is a disgrace as a human being. Exactly. And he doesn't know that. He's used to people groveling in front of him, so at this point, and I said, he's off the chain of, you know, he thinks he's king of the world. Yeah, scary, that's true. And they couldn't be confirmed by the Senate. Yes, Julia, like I like to refer to, he's a soulless meat bag of shit. Not even a human being. No permanent appointees. Right, exactly. That's so he can fire him whenever he wants. Like that Bovino. He's about to push Bovino off the cliff, which I'm glad. But I'm saying is, why would you want to pledge your allegiance to someone that you know will just... That's why I said earlier, it's like the Thosadin thing, where these people will walk off a cliff if he tells them to. Because you have to know going in that he could fucking stick a knife in you at any moment. That's what he doesn't seem to understand. It's like his word is worthless. So whenever he says, "Oh, I gotta make a deal," like he just tried to turn on Korea. He's like, "Oh, they're not following all the agreements that I wanted them to follow. So 25% tariff, you know." Why would you make a deal with somebody that you know is going to change the deal? You won't. Yeah, Julie says ICE agents aren't even going to be on the job long enough to get their $50,000 bonuses. Right, exactly. You see the one this guy mooned them, the protesters, ICE agent. Because he's the best of the best. Professionals. He's at this hotel window with his ass on the window like these people are in high school. It's really embarrassing and disgraceful. But anyway, it's been an hour. I'm gonna get out of here. I thank you again. Listen, if you're new here, again, like the people who appeared in the chat, if you're still here, you're new, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm here, like I said, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, United States. Unless there's something going on and I won't be here, but generally I announce that beforehand and you'll know. But mostly the show is live, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, United States Time. Hit the like button, subscribe. You want to send me a message, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. In the meantime, if the ICE comes to your city, resist. I said, don't violently resist, but I'm saying no boss tonight, John. But observe. I said, you got a phone, use it. You see what happens. I mean, tell them to get the fuck out. Especially if you're white. Use your privilege. This is a time when white privilege comes in handy. You can help someone with it. Usually, they use it to hurt people. So, let's flip the script. Again, I thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me. The show has grown, and I thank you for it. I am Bruce Leonard. Thank you very much. I'll be back Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, United States. Have a good night. Be safe.